Hey guys, what's going on? Thought I'd do a video on one of the articles that I just published and sent out to my newsletter as well, called Top 3 Trading Products for 2024, which are must-buys. These are all products I use that I've made money from and I'm most excited about going forward into the new year. So hopefully you guys are also part of these. If not, definitely consider buying some of them. I'll leave a link in the description below to this article. From there you can buy any of the top 3 that I'm about to talk about in this video. So basically, in the new year, it's always a time where I sit back and I reflect. I'm like, what worked this year? What didn't work? What did I do this year that actually made me money? What did I do that lost me money? And the first one that comes to mind is ThetaTraders.com. And so Theta Traders is run by my friend Lance, and he basically has developed these different strategies, very diversified, where you're selling options often on futures, which sounds big and scary, and you know, some people are put off by the word futures, and even selling options is scary to some people. But the way that Lance does it and the way that he explains it, he's a teacher by profession, he's actually really good at helping you understand and just get over that initial hurdle, right? So where you're trying to get over that get that initial momentum to get going with something. And I didn't really think this stuff was worth doing for the longest time. Literally put it off for a decade. I knew about it vaguely, but I didn't realize until Lance really persuaded me. He said, hey, give it a try. So what I started doing is I started to put just a little bit of money into the futures option selling. So futures options have some significant benefits compared to just selling on, say, SPY or any of the meme stocks or whatever. There's a bit of that in Theta Traders, but the way we're going with it at the moment is towards the selling options on futures. Things like oil, things like gold, things like just ES, right? So it's been fantastic. So I started with just a few $1,000s, I think $8,000. I've got it in the article here. And just started adding a little bit extra every so often, just to start in July. So basically, I started to understand the concepts. I found out how easy it is to do, which was something I thought would be super hard, but no. I got approved for Tasty Trades, which is the main brokerage that everybody uses for a number of different reasons. I got approved very easily, very quickly, funded very easily. It's a very good platform. Really love it. And so basically, I got started on that in July and started to make money pretty much straight away. And I haven't lost a single trade, and I've done hundreds, at least multiple dozens. There's a lot of trades that I've done. And one thing that I found is that everybody else who's doing this also is loving it too. So I did a poll on my Facebook group. It's in the article here. You can see it right here. Basically, everybody said Lance is the GOAT, or the greatest of all time. I shouldn't have put that because it would have looked a lot better if I just put yes, we've found the service useful and profitable, because that's the question, right? Is the service useful and profitable? It is, but people love it so much they think he's the best thing since sliced bread. I'm sure Lance doesn't think he's the best thing since sliced bread, but so there was 23 people voted, and basically nobody voted that it wasn't profitable. There was one guy, some douchebag, that had never been in the service, put no, so I got rid of him because we went through our records and he wasn't in the service, and then we looked at his Facebook profile and it was clearly a fake troll Facebook thing, so got rid of him. Just for full transparency, in case you guys are like, wait a minute, there was one no vote. There's no votes. so basically, everybody is in the service, and there's 200 odd now. Obviously, when you do a poll like this, only a certain number, 10% or so in this case, and in most cases voted, and basically the result has been superb, that yes, it's profitable, and that Lance is the best thing ever when it comes to this type of trading. And so I highly, highly recommend for the new year that you try this out. The deals that we're doing at the moment, if you visit the website, it's right here. You can see everything that's on there. We'll probably do a deal in the next few days, so you might want to check the channel back or come into the Facebook group, or if you're on my email list, just make sure that you have that's not getting sent to spam or anything. We'll send out the deal for that, which is going to be our New Year special. If not, the standard prices that you'll find at ThetaTraders.com are still fantastic and still the best that you'll find for this type of service. In fact, probably an order of magnitude better prices than some of the competition, or at least 5 times what you'd find for the competition on these things. And so we do credit spreads, 0DTE spreads, selling futures options is the big thing that we're really focusing on. This is growing and growing, it's becoming more and more popular, so it's something that you might want to think about. Capital wise, you only need a few $1,000s to start, but obviously the more the merrier. Typical expectations can be anywhere from 3% to 8% per month. It can vary fairly widely depending on what the VIX is doing, how many positions you're taking, how aggressive you are, all this type of thing. Here is currently what I'm at, so I've slowly built up to 85,000 net lick. Started with like 8,000 in July, just a few months ago. And my goal here was really, I remember saying to Lance, and we did a presentation on this, was just make enough to pay like my car payment a month. Like I got a new car, and instead of putting all that money into the car, put it into the trading account. And so this year so far, $9,000 in profit, which more than pays for the monthly car payments, which is fantastic. My goal for January, February will get this to pay for the entire car, which will be really cool. So I'll be excited about that. And it takes so little effort and time that it's like free money. That's how it feels. It's not like I'm glued to the computer. This is just place a trade every few days or every week, which was really cool. We have tons of testimonials. I put some in the article, but there's so many more that there's just no point. Like, why keep adding more and more? People know. Anyway, that's thetatraders.com. Definitely check it out. Keep an eye out for our special deal. I'll probably do a separate video in the next couple of days on the special deal as well. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that video, and link to the special New Year's deal. Alright, number 2, Algo Pro. So up until this last year, I'd never used these indicator systems on TradingView. I don't know how, somehow it just passed me by. Just hadn't actually sat down and really used TradingView that much. I'd used Thinkorswim and other platforms. But TradingView, started using it, started to get into these algos and indicator systems, and I found the best one so far after testing probably half a dozen now. If you go to my blog, you'll see all the different reviews of different products, things like Lux Algo, Easy Algo, all these different ones. The best that I found has been Algo Pro, both for accuracy and value. However, today there has been a change in the price, which is very unfortunate for people, especially around New Year. You'd hope that they would do a discount, but they've actually changed the pricing structure from what was one of the, if not the best in the business in this niche, to in line with the rest of the competition, which is very unfortunate and a little bit disappointed in them for, because they were selling this for $149 for lifetime access when I bought it a few months ago. And that is phenomenal. I mean, that's 2 or 3 months of normal, a normal standard pricing model, which is what they've now adopted. So unfortunately for you guys, it feels like you're missing out on this fantastic deal. However, the program is so good. I still highly, highly recommend Algo Pro to people. It's basically indicators that show you when to buy and sell. They have so many tools like backtesting and all sorts of things. Definitely worth coming to this article. Going to their website and checking out what they've got to offer. I think it's something that you would find useful. I know most people, again, I did a poll right here where 30 people voted. You see down the bottom here. And I'll leave a link to the Facebook group so you guys can come and see these polls and all the other ones that I do periodically as well. And there's 30 votes, and 100% of people said that they use it, do like it, and it's helpful. I deliberately didn't say profitable here, because I think it's difficult to say profitable, because if you say profitable and they've only done 2 trades, then they're profitable and they'll hit yes. If they've done 1 trade and it failed and they hit no, it's not sort of like that clear cut. So just some people were saying, well, why didn't you say if they're profitable? Is it really profitable? Well, yeah, I use this language in these polls now. I'm trying to go this way a bit more. Is it helpful? Do you like it? Kind of thing, rather than have you made money with it or not? Because there's too many things come into that, so I'm trying to refine these polls a little bit. Anyway, check that out for sure. Now, the one I'm most excited about going into the new year in terms of buying options is Nate Baer's Profit Surge Trader, and so I'm already organizing an interview with Nate Baer, a live stream interview with him, because he is one amazing trader. So he's a multimillionaire trader. He started as a construction worker years and years ago, and he basically took $37,000 and turned it into $2.7 million in about 4 years. So not like super fast, but still amazingly, absurdly, ridiculously, this is awesome sort of thing, It's not like a ridiculous claim of a month or 6 months or even a year, but 4 years. Now, I've followed Nate for years, and I'm a member of his news service called Profit Surge Trader. This is a cool service, so come here and check out Nate's new service by clicking right here in the article in the description below. And the cool thing about this is he uses a strategy which has been proven in peer-reviewed literature. Now, how many gurus out there do you know that can actually say that that is part of their strategy? Usually they're just buying momentum or some random thing. But what he's doing is he's basically giving us a trade every Monday. So every Monday at noon Eastern time, you're getting a live stream from him where he talks you through the trade of the month. So the first Monday of the month, you get the trade of the month. And that trade, that ticker, will be traded every Monday that month because it's a particular earnings surprise winner. So there'll be some sort of surprise earnings on that particular ticker that have caused it to gap up massively and start slow drift upwards. It's called a PEAD, post earnings price drift. And so basically this is a proven phenomenon. They're not 100% sure why it happens. There's lots and lots of arguments and hypotheses about like why this happens, but it does. And it also happens in reverse, so it can gap down and drift downwards. Now, when you combine Nate's excellent technical analysis, he uses a system where he looks at the trend and the squeeze and the price action, basically. And when you combine, it's a TPS system, it's called. You guys that have known Nate's other services know that he is amazing at this type of trading. So when you combine this phenomenon of these surprise earnings with Nate's technical analysis, you get a really, really good strategy. And it's a strategy that I've spent the last month doing. I took all the trades and I made money on every single trade, which was phenomenal. There are bonus trades, so you might think, well, you only get one trade every Monday. That's not that great. Well, you get one trade on the main ticker. So like in this case, it would be NVDA. But you also get bonus trades as well. So maybe the month before there was another surprise earnings runner. You might get trades that are still going for that because sometimes these things run for significant periods of time. So for example, Target was this last month's trade, which was basically the December trades. Let's see if we can get there, Target. So you can see if you zoom in why Nate picked this, because it had this gap right here. This earnings right here, and then you can see this drift that he talks about. So you can swing trade these over a week or a few days or 2 weeks. In this case, it went from, it's still going, but it went from 16th of November all the way to today with a really nice surge in between. But you can see this post-earnings drift, and planning the entries and exits is that's the difficult part, right? Because you can say, oh, well, I'll just find ones that have had a surprise earnings and they'll go up and I'll buy. But you can, instead of just buying and holding, you can trade them 2 or 3 times each, like on a Monday throughout that month. And with using options, you can get very large percent returns overall. So it's kind of the thought process with that. And so Target, he won all of the trades on Target. He even did bonus trades on Target as well this month. I think I've put them in this article. If I haven't, I've put them in the main review article. I'll show you that in a second. Yeah, so their main review article for Nate stuff is here. So I'll leave a link in the description for this. It's also linked in this main top 3 trading products video as well for the new year. But if you look down here, I'll show you some of the data, because everybody always asks, like, what's the data? This is Nate and his family, by the way. So, yeah. Let's see. So, go down here. There are peer-reviewed studies, so this is one study that discusses the phenomenon. Not sure why it's scored out here. Let's just open it up and see if it actually links to the review. It does. My blog seems to be saying that it's not a real thing, but you can read more about all the different phenomena that contribute to this. It's kind of cool. Kind of interesting. Anyway. So I put some other videos in here of basically my first week or 2 on Profit Surge Trader. I've tried to put screenshots showing you timestamps and things as well, because everybody's so skeptical these days, like, does it really work? Here's a trade I did. I actually bought in down here. sold up here on target. Nate did something a little bit better, I think. And let's see. Most recently, so this was the last trade. Somebody asked me for the last trade of the year on the target calls, because obviously target's not going to be the main trade for January. So this was December's last trade. I put the timestamps here so you can see December 20th. So you put an order in for these calls. They're filled at 215, and then 6 days later they jumped to 105%, and he filled his closing order on here. It's pretty good. It's really fairly priced. There's a full money back guarantee. It does say limited time deal. I've talked to the team because I'm talking to them about interviewing Nate, and this is a very limited time deal. And I don't blame them. This is worth $1,500 a year in my opinion, and they're selling it for $279, which is really phenomenal. So that's why I think it's something you want to act on like sooner rather than later. And that kind of concludes my sort of New Year's alerts and products. Think Algo Pro, Theta Traders, Nate Bear's Profit Surge Trader. Those are some seriously good services. I haven't lost money on any of them. I've only made money. They've paid for themselves multiple times over, and I think take massive action. I mean, this is the new year. It's coming up. I would buy things that, especially if you've been having a hard time this year, or you've seen me using these and you're like, hey, I forgot, maybe I should buy that. I completely honestly promise you that if you use these tools properly, you're very, very likely to make money. I get thank yous all the time from people saying, hey, thanks for turning me on to Algo Pro, thanks for Theta Traders, thanks for Nate Bears, this is amazing. And there's tons of testimonials. And if you don't believe me, I'll also leave my email in the description below, and you can email me and I'm happy to send you proof of any of these claims. So that wraps it up. I hope you guys have a good new year. I'll update you maybe on another couple of videos over the next couple of days. But if we don't get a chance to discuss any of this further, I hope you have a good New Year's celebration, and I'll talk to you guys soon.